Hello everyone, this is Persephone, and this is a video for only the membership because it's going to really trigger a lot of the failed, unattractive, toxic men who watch my channel who think that they're beta men but they're in fact omega men and they need total reconstruction of both their body and their personality. So I'm going to discuss with you that after a long time in this industry, there is the number one thing that I find extremely unattractive, and it's enough to make me reject someone from ever being in my life, not only as a submissive, but also in any kind of way, even as a friend or as a business partner, but especially as a submissive. This is the one thing that I don't care if you're handsome, I don't care if you have a lot of money, I don't care if we like the same kings, you are like this, we are done. And I believe that many women think like that. It's just that they don't say it because, first of all, they want to continue stringing you along and taking your money. And second, because it's politically incorrect to tell the truth. But we're going to discuss it here. And that is to actually present yourself as extremely easygoing when in fact you generate an extreme amount of emotional labor and mental load for the dominant girlfriend or for the mistress, aka the beta man who is unaccountable. He refuses to take accountability of any kind. What does that mean in reality? I'm going to use chastity, which is one of my favorite kings, as an example. I like chastity for several reasons. One is self-discovery, another is building up discipline, a third one is the erotic concept of giving control of your sexuality and your orgasm to the woman you are with. I'm not going to analyze it here. There are plenty of videos I've made about that. And then there is this category of man who approaches me, and it's always approaching me with, "Mistress, have you heard of electronic chastity? What do you think? Do I live under a rock that there is no internet connection? Of course I have heard about it." And then they say, "Mistress, I have this electronic device that you can control from a distance, and you can keep me in chastity, and you can unlock me and lock me every time you feel like it, and you are going to be totally responsible for it, and even if I want to go take a piss, I have to text you a message, and you are going to have to unlock me, then you have to check if I'm locked, then you have to punish me if I'm not locked, then you have to talk me into getting back into chastity if I don't feel like it, and so on, and I'm willing to pay you $10 a week. What do you think about that? Isn't it super exciting?" This person gets blocked without a response anymore because I'm tired. The reason why this bothers me so much is that this is not a man showing off his discipline and his devotion to me. This is a person who wants babysitting. And how do you even exert any of the things that I mentioned earlier if everything falls on my shoulders? I have to be responsible to lock you. I have to be responsible to unlock you. I have to be responsible to talk you into feeling happy about being locked. Are you a toddler? In what universe is any of that erotic? I mean, sure, there is a kink about everything, and here I'm totally blatantly going to kink shame, and I don't care who hears it. If there is a woman whose kink is this level of control, this woman needs therapy, a psychiatrist. She doesn't need, in my opinion, a submissive. And even if, let's say, I wanted to do that, which I don't, but let's say that for the sake of the argument that I did, do you think I have enough hours in the day to do this for 1, 2, 3, 10 guys? To check every 1 hour their messages saying, "Mistress, I need to go to the bathroom now. Can you unlock me? Mistress, I need to go out now and there's going to be a public bathroom. Can you unlock me? Mistress, I feel hard and horny. Can you discuss about unlocking me?" This is like a brain virus taking over my life. And this is just one example. Unfortunately, there are so many more. There is this general idea that being a submissive means surrendering control to someone else to the point that practically your brain has an out of order sign and someone else makes all of the decisions for you. And I'm going to tell you something here that I don't think women say. Women's sexuality gets turned off when they have to play someone's mother, or when they have to parent someone, or when they have to do all of the mental load in the house. That's why you see so many long-term marriages that they become dead bedrooms, because the woman has to do all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the dental appointments for the kids, or the taking the kids into activities, plus her job, and the man does God knows what, and at the end of the day, the woman becomes extremely unattractive to him. That's one reason many women initiate divorces. That's female nature, and if you take that and expand it into the kink world and the femdom world, I don't want a submissive who wants me to decide what he's going to wear, what he's going to eat, what he's going to do, when he's going to do it, what he's not going to do, and so on. When someone says, mistress, I came here to completely surrender myself to you, I feel icky. Like, yuck, I don't want to do that. What we are going to do is discussing, let's say, your feminization schedule, deciding the things that you are comfortable with. Consent is extremely important to me, so I never give the same feminization protocol to any sissy. You can compare 100 of my sissies and they're not going to have the same tasks. Each of them has her own tasks that they are suitable to her life, her lifestyle, her experience with feminization, the free time that she has, if she's in an environment that she has to be closeted, or if she can live full time as a woman, does she want a boyfriend, does she want to date women? There are so many factors. And of course, I'm going to keep in touch with her and check her schedule. For example, I have people who say, mistress, I'm going to contact you back on night flight in 2 days. Mistress, I'm going to come up once a week. Mistress, I'm going to come up when I have time or when I can sneak out. All of those are fine. What is not fine is people needing attention every second of every day. That is, in my opinion, and I don't say this with judgment, a person who has some kind of huge mental trauma, possibly from their family, because this is where it all comes from, having a horrible family, and they need constant distraction and constant dopamine to essentially run away from their trauma. That's what addiction does. It helps you run away from all of your problems. And the people who say, but I had a great childhood, I don't have any trauma, you're definitely in denial. There is no way a person wants me to check up on them every 1 hour and consider this sexy, and there isn't something that went wrong there. Maybe it happened later in life, I don't know, but it's when someone is in this situation, they need help from a therapist before they explore any kinks. And I say this because I don't know how to honestly fight this belief that submissive doesn't mean mindless bot, that I have to check up and recalibrate every 1 hour. And then people say, I don't know why this woman stopped responding to me. I don't know why she actually ghosted me, she blocked me, and so on. Because this is mental load. I have to remember all of this, I have to do all of this, and it doesn't give me any happiness, and it doesn't help you grow as a person. And honestly, if we're going to see it in the capitalist dystopia, I have much easier ways to make money than controlling a guy's penis in chastity every 1 hour. Why would I exert myself this much? Because people tend to think, and I like to create this sensation that it's just me and them, but in reality, I talk to hundreds of others. So I'm not going to prioritize someone who's extremely high maintenance and is paying me the same amount of money, because most of these websites have fixed rates. So if you want to find a dominant woman, or if you want to be a submissive, you have to find the ideal balance, discussing it with her about how much accountability you're willing to take, and then follow through with it. Because the other branch of this level of toxicity is the sissy or the sub who says, I'm going to do this and this and this, and we agree on that, and then they never do anything, and then they come back. And I'm not talking about people that, let's say, if you live in a red state and you are in the closet, I understand sometimes things go wrong, plans go wrong. But if you live by yourself and you have been talking about getting some toys to do some training, or losing some weight, or getting a second job, or whatever, and joining a dating site, and it has been 2 years and you haven't done anything, I don't want to see you anymore. You're a waste of my time. It's great if you want to discuss it as a fantasy, but I'm not here to do fantasy. My time is limited. I'm here to help people who are serious about it. So if you want to discuss it as a fantasy, there are plenty of other people to take the money and discuss it with you. It's not going to be me. So the number one unattractive trait is the extremely clingy, extremely needy person that possibly has anxious avoidant attachment style. You can look into what this is, and if you have it, you need mental help, you need therapy to learn to live with it, because I don't think that attachment styles can be changed. And there are people who consider extreme codependency and enmeshment sex. It's not. Always try to put yourself into the other person's shoes to the extent that you can, and you are going to be so successful. Your life is going to start transforming. Because people come to me and they say, I want you to lock me and unlock me multiple times a day. Did you ever take a second to think, how does this woman's day look like? How much free time does she have? Does she have any friends? Does she live alone? Does she have a partner? Does she have other goals that she needs to work on? Is locking and unlocking me every couple of hours aligning with all that? Because if we're completely misaligned, then it's not going to work. But no, I'm going to tell you here, the humanization. No one ever asks me that of these people. They just come here and say, mistress, I came here, I found this electronic way to control me, let's do it. Well, I don't want to do it. I get paid to have a life, not to give away my life to control you and label that sex. It's extremely unattractive. Please stop doing that, and you are going to see how much positive changes still continue to happen or start to happen if they didn't. Being a beta man doesn't mean you are not proactive, that you don't have your own opinion, that you cannot talk to your mistress about your needs. A submissive person has the same needs a dominant does. And their needs are to be respected. Otherwise, you are in an abusive relationship. It's time to stop romanticizing abuse as a kink. I have men who are married, who are in horrible cuckold marriages, and I tell them that they're horrible. And they say, I talk to my wife about how much I hate doing this or that, and she never listens. That's not a cuckold. She's an abuser. For example, there is a guy that he said that I don't have a problem if my wife meets men for sex or if she goes to stay to their house in the weekend for sex, but I don't want random strangers coming to live with me, especially without prior notice, that she go out with a guy for a drink and then she brings him home when her husband is there. And he says, sometimes these people are creepy, sometimes I'm inconvenienced. And I tell her, can you please not do that? Or can you please text me before you bring someone over? And she never does it. That's not a sexy cuckoldress, that's a selfish abuser. But when I say that, I'm the bad guy. Being submissive doesn't mean you don't have a voice. Your needs don't matter, your preferences don't matter, you're some kind of, I don't know. Even robots have more rights than this, or should have. Just some food for thought. You are very welcome to share your experiences with me. I don't want to share this on the main channel because I know the stalker's reaction. The stalker is a very mentally fragile individual, a failed one. So I really hope that this can make you do some self-introspection and possibly some positive changes. Thank you for watching.